Loveline is meant for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised. 2, 1, go! Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Loveline, coast to coast.
Hey, it is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew over there. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist. Drew?
Mm-hmm.
You eating over there?
I'm just about done.
Yeah. How was Thanksgiving for you?
Nice. Ate lots of cranberry sauce. Fresh cranberry sauce.
Good. Good.
In your honor.
Good.
Your honor.
Very good. Very good.
How about yours?
Yeah. Lots of fresh everything. Everything's good. I ate an entire pumpkin pie yesterday.
Nice.
Always proud of that. And my poo is turned into soft swirl because I've not eaten 1 ounce of fiber, I realize, unless you count. Does the crust count as fiber on a pie?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm looking good then. Yeah, I haven't eaten any fiber in like 4 days. I'm trying to keep that streak alive.
How about the stuffing?
When I get scurvy, stuffing is a bunch of fattened bread.
Bulk bread?
Yeah, but I don't know. That's not the same as eating, carrots and celery and stuff.
Oh, you haven't eaten any roughage?
Oh, roughage, yeah.
Wow.
Wait, what's it? Isn't roughage fiber and fiber roughage?
It's a little bit different.
Is roughage rough fiber?
Roughage is undigestibles of other type than not just fiber.
I'm thinking about swallowing a Brillo pad just to kind of even things out.
That'll catch you up, I think.
Yeah, just to kind of send something down the line, knock any obstructions out, grab whatever.
You know what I did I watched lots of television during Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And I was pleasantly surprised.
What?
Well, sort of worn out old formats being delivered in a clever, interesting way with good cast and stuff. That was good.
TV in general?
Yeah,
that's good.
I haven't seen TV in like 4 years.
Speaking of TV, the Man Show is on right now. The Great Man Show. The Playboy Best Of episode is on tonight. Oh, that is a laugh riot. Monty Messex is our guest tonight. Monty has been on this show before. Monty's an old friend of mine. As a matter of fact, his mother hit me. I think we're talking about that.
I told my mom about that.
Roberta?
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
she claims not to remember.
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
Convenient.
It is payback time for Monty's mom to whack me when we're in the back of her car. But you remember Monty, right?
Do I? I don't remember.
You don't remember her hitting me?
I don't remember.
I guess it's the kind of thing a child blocks out.
But I could imagine it though.
Yeah.
Shocking, isn't it? Yeah, anybody would want.
I'm not shocked at all.
Yeah, maybe Roberta can come back in here and pop you on a couple more times. Might straighten your ass out a little bit.
Oh yes. What a fond childhood. I've been hit by 2 parents in my life. Neither one was my own parent, which most people don't have that kind of distinction. All right, but anyway, Monty is here talking about the Children's Hospital and AIDS and all that good stuff. So, Monty, why don't you depress us for about 30 seconds? What do you know?
Depress you. How about enlighten you a little bit?
All right. Same thing.
So, I'm here tonight to talk about the HIV awareness campaign. It's what we did last year also, raise awareness around testing for HIV among young people. And just to put the word out, World AIDS Day is coming up December 1st. And Children's Hospital Los Angeles, where I work, is involved in a national campaign to link people with testing. Hopefully, find people that are HIV positive early on in the infection so they can get treatment.
How's it going now with all these cocktails and potions and whatnot? I mean, if you catch it early enough, is it something you can exist with?
Yes.
Yeah, big time. They have the highly active retroviral therapy, and apparently they say hit it early, hit it hard, but also the flip side of it is I think a lot of young people think, oh well, they've got all these therapies. Look at Magic Johnson, blah blah blah. People are living long time, so I don't need to use a condom. So it's not a big deal.
Good old days when Spin magazine ran articles on how HIV was a concoction of the Gallo Institute and the NIH.
Are they still standing behind that?
Oh,
maybe
no.
they're still with that.
Oh my God!
Why not? Why wouldn't they still believe that?
Because it's bizarre at this point where people are being you focus therapy on the HIV, the viral loads go down, people live for indefinitely.
But they were talking about HIV as being manufactured.
No. That
weren't?
The whole concept of being
concept.
Yeah, that it had no relation to the AIDS process.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they'll print a retraction very shortly.
That's good. And they seriously ought to do jail time. Seriously, they do damage with those kinds of articles.
Yeah. Well, next time we get Bob Guccione Jr. on here, you bring it up. And he was in here not too long ago.
2 years ago.
All right. Well,
I did bring
pussy.
it up. I did bring it up.
Oh, barely. Listen, stop talking for a second. I want to talk to Monty about the good old days.
The good old days.
Oh, boy, I used to build a lot of stuff out of clay.
Out of clay. And also,
Yeah.
do the Pop Warner football.
Oh, yeah.
You played football with him, too?
No, but I used to go and watch him play.
Oh, yes. He was one of my biggest fans.
He was obsessed with football.
Instead of his family.
But he was cute in the little football tight pants.
You're gay.
Now, Monty, this we'll get back to the HIV here before we veer off too far. So you know what we need to do? We need to kill Magic Johnson.
No.
No, you don't think so? Don't you think he'd be a good martyr for the disease? I mean, what if he died of, let's kill him of hepatitis or something like that? Word would get out very quickly, would scare people, and they'd start using protection again.
He probably could be a nice public health education tool for HIV intervention if he didn't publicly take the position that it was prayer that's actually cured him.
Oh, he doesn't do that.
He's saying a lot of that stuff.
No, he talks about his doctors, and he talks about
the therapy.
How his doctors pray for him, and that how his therapist prays for him. No,
not that prayer's a bad thing, but there needs to be more to the story.
I've heard him talk about it before, and he talks about exercise, and he talks about good health, and he talks about his medication. I know Drew wants the world to kiss his ass because his folks put him through some school, but that's not the way it works. Now listen, so here's what I'm saying though, people are taking this disease more lightly, right?
I'm not sure that's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
listen, you just got done saying that's what it was.
No, I said that there is a flip side, and you know what, you could be right. You could be right.
Of course they are.
That especially among young people, that they don't realize what a pain in the butt, that it's not some walk in the park, that if you're HIV positive, it's not like an aspirin in the morning, it's pills that make you sick.
Yeah.
And that you feel cruddy, and it's a big bummer.
But they don't look at it as a death sentence, and frankly, I think it's a little bit of a backlash because here's what happened in my guesstimation. Although I don't read, I just I watch television. But here's what I figured out: first, AIDS goes unnoticed for a long period of time. Then there's this huge backlash against it going unnoticed, about being a gay man's disease and all that kind of stuff, and Liz Taylor and everyone else jumps on board, and everyone's wearing a ribbon. And then it goes too far the other way. Everyone could get it, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter whether you're a junkie or just a heterosexual sex with virgins, you have just as big a chance. And they went over the top with it that way. And then as what happens with everything when people go over the top one direction, people stop listening. It's like what the government tried to do with marijuana. You'll go insane, you'll go psychotic, reefer madness, and now people stop listening. And I think something like that happened with AIDS, which is I think they went a little too far with it, and now people have stopped listening a little bit. This thing that they were spinning, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, that everyone can get it, everyone's going to get it, everyone has the same chance of getting it. Well, people aren't getting it, or at least not like they said they were going to get it, and so they've gone the other way, which is they're not paying attention to it anymore.
Yeah, and perhaps in our country, other parts of the world, it's, they say in Africa, 1 in 4 people, HIV positive in certain parts of Africa.
Right.
Asia, Vietnam, what have you, where the seroprevalence rates are just huge. Thailand, but perhaps in our country, it's that there's a bit of a backlash on it. Also, that there's a whole generation of people that have grown up in the age, the last 20 years with HIV, where condom use is normal, and that that they've grown up in a totally different era, where it's, sex is about protecting yourself. And
well, that's good though, right?
Absolutely.
But what about testing now? You still have to wait 6 months, or they have this DNA testing? Is this working out? Are people using this?
Well, testing is they still use the ELISA test, which tests for antibodies, and takes anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 months to develop antibodies to HIV.
They can't work this out where it's a little bit faster?
Well, if you're like a porn star,
Yeah.
you can get testing that'll tell you, if you're positive the day of the test. It's a very expensive test.
How much is it?
It's like, what, 50, 60 bucks for their what are they called?
All right, what about bringing that price down?
Polymerase chain
Yeah.
reaction.
How about bringing that price
PCR.
down? I think part of the reason people don't get tested, too, is because they get tested, and then what do they do for 6 months? Do you know what I mean? It's
Well, but
not a
you
very
get-
gratifying test to take. Not that the test should be, but what I mean is, I don't care what the test is, whether it's a driving test or a math test or a HIV
want the
test.
results now.
You go in to get a
But you
test
do get the
because you
results.
need.
You get the results right away, but the results tell you basically in the most conservative estimate, they tell you what you did 6 months ago. I mean, you should
Yeah.
be clear about that. You do get the results right away.
But
and the reason that they use the ELISA test, the antibody test, is just it's a more inexpensive test, and they figure that most people
How about getting the price down on the porn test?
on the PCR.
Yeah, I mean,
test.
how about, can that, and I know as stuff turns more mainstream and gets into production, they can bring the price down. What about focusing on that? I mean, if that were $30, I think people take that. I think people spend money on that. Why not work that angle?
It's not as good of a screening test, as I understand.
Yeah.
It's not as accurate?
As a screen.
What do you mean as a screen?
Screen, you don't want to miss anyone who's got it.
Right, but is it the difference between 99 and 97%, or is it in the 70s or the 60s?
A good screening test should be 100%.
Okay, but what I'm saying is it a couple percentage points difference?
Tenths of percentage points different, I'm sure, but that's
That-
a big deal when you're talking about millions of people.
Well,
also,
all right,
it's
not
it's
that
just
big
also
deal.
the difference between just price. That most likely the prices of those tests don't go down, and most people and most agencies need free tests.
Right.
And it's actually, the ELISA test is a good test as long as part of HIV getting a test is that they explain what the test is measuring. You just don't get a kick in the butt. They just don't take some blood or take an oral swab and give you a test. They explain this is what the test is measuring. It's measuring antibodies. Antibodies take a certain amount of time to develop in response to being HIV positive, blah, blah, and that's a test that they can offer for free, and it's a good screening test.
All right. So everyone go get tested, except for me. John?
John.
Yeah, this is John.
Yeah,
You're
John.
20. What's up?
Yeah, I really like to go mountain biking and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And when I get done, or actually this just happened the last couple of times I've done it, I've just been real, just numb down, like, my penis and everything else. I've just been numb. And is this, I've heard that it cuts off circulation when you ride.
Well, it's not so much the circulation, but the pressure on a nerve called the pudendal nerve, which is the nerve that goes out to the penis, and you can actually damage it. And I see more and more people with various kinds of problems related to spinning and mountain biking, including obstruction of the urethra and pudendal nerve damage and erectile dysfunction. There's all kinds of things that can happen.
Yeah.
So make sure you have the right kind of seat and make sure you're not traumatizing the area.
Yeah.
You got a pad on that seat?
Well, yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really, though, right?
No.
I mean, I know you don't want to look gay with those big springs and a big quilted seat, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you just got the...
You might as well hang a basket off the
So
thing.
how are we going to make sure that he changes his seat? Okay, here's the deal, John. Your penis isn't going to work if you keep going down this road.
Yeah, I heard
Right.
that it makes you, like, sterile or something.
It makes you not get hard anymore.
But don't
Right?
they have...
You don't feel your penis.
Don't they have new seats now with like a hole cut out in the middle, like a slot cut out? Hey, have you seen these things?
I have.
They look pretty good. They're kind of like a regular bike seat, but they have like a hole cut out in the middle.
Does that help, or...
You get the right kind of seat. Talk to somebody who knows something about
I'm
bikes.
guessing. I'm
Yeah.
guessing it
It's
does.
not us, okay?
Okay.
Oh, it is me. Yeah. Get the one with the slot cut out, Nick
That's
John, and save your nuts. And
Nice.
and listen, all you guys are crazy with the spinning and the, spending 4 hours a day on the mountain bike. Knock it off, please. Dylan,
Yeah, hey.
you're 24. What's up?
All right, well, I've got a question about a product called androstenedione. It's a hormone, male hormone,
So,
kind of like a workout supplement.
it's
And when you
testosterone, basically.
take it, yeah, exactly. When I take it, I can hold an erection like constantly all day long.
Great.
I'm taking it. I'm wondering. I've been taking it like every day, so I don't know what the downside of it is. I know every drug tends to have an equal and opposite downside.
That's right, and it's not been well studied, but it's going to be similar to any other anabolic or androgenic steroid in that taken in sufficient quantity, it's eventually going to drop your sperm count, it's going to make your erections not work quite so well, it's going to drop your libido, it's going to make you depressed, it's going to affect
make you impotent then.
You got to get one of those new bike seats. The slot cutout. Makes me my answer for tonight.
That would be the funniest man alive.
Liver and kidney problems, heart disease, strokes, those are all possibilities of excessive androgen. So it's something...
So there's possibilities of depression and...
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, listen, Dylan.
Yeah.
Are you lifting a lot of weight?
Yeah. Well, I'm working out. That's the reason I take it. It's for my workout program.
But why? What are you training to be?
Not just training to be strong and in good shape.
I know, but, good shape. Let's examine that phrase, good shape.
All I need is a bike seat.
No, what I'm saying is good shape doesn't mean not being able to achieve an erection and being prone to tantrums or crying while driving. You know what I'm saying? It's good shape. Well, let me tell all you workout guys something. I have to give this speech every once in a while. You're busting your ass for nothing. You really are. There is a certain subset of women who really like a guy with big, bounding muscles. Those women are crazy bitches. Crazy. Those are the chicks with the big hair and the unicorns painted on their nails and have had the collagen injected into their lips where it looks sort of comical. That's those chicks. You want those chicks? Hit the gym, brother. Hit the tanning salon, get your body greased up, shave everything off of everywhere except for the top of your head and your eyebrows, and have at it. You want good-looking chicks other than the crazy ones with the collagen injections? Just jog a little, swim a few laps, do some push-ups, do some chin-ups. That's what they want. They don't want the big, crazy muscles. And you spend a lot of time trying to get those, and they'll go away. You bust your ankle, and 4 weeks later, they're gone. I think guys work out that way for other guys. Not the gay guys, although Lord knows the gay guys do that for the other gay guys. But even the straight guys do it for the other guys. Not for them, but to intimidate them. Yeah. They want respect from them, and they want the guys to think they get a lot of poontang. See, stupid guys see a guy with huge arms and say, boy, I bet that guy gets a lot of tail.
Yeah, a lot of addicts in gyms, too. And addicts, again, sex addiction, they act out with other sex addicts, women who are attracted to that kind of symbol. So
Listen, guys, you know who gets the most tail? It's the emaciated guys. It's the small guys. It's the scrawny guys.
The heroin addicts.
The heroin addicts. That's right, Drew. So here's my message.
Get your HIV.
Put down the dumbbell and pick up the syringe. And pull those steroids out of it and put some H into there. Put a little smack. You want the ladies? That's what you do. Thank you. Susan?
Hi.
Hey.
I had a question for Dr. Drew.
You're 26, by the way. You're on with Monty Messex.
Hi, Monty.
Hi.
Monty's from...
Hi.
There you go. Monty's from the Children's Hospital, and he is for... Oh, no, he's against AIDS. That's right. No,
I hope we all are.
No, I'm for...
Oh, for AIDS. For AIDS,
No.
sorry. He's pro-AIDS.
For testing.
For testing because
testing
he's
for
pro-AIDS.
HIV.
Right, big fan of AIDS. Susan?
Anyway, my question for Dr. Drew is, I heard that if you take St. John's wort and you're on the pill at the same time, that it can dramatically reduce the effectiveness of the pill.
I don't know about dramatically, but the pill interacts with lots of different medication, and it makes sense to me that particularly the progestational pills might not work so well in St. John's wort.
Okay.
All right, why? Are you depressed?
Well, I've been on both the pill and St. John's wort for 2 years. And since I heard this bad stuff about St. John's wort, I've been tapering down, and I'm going to just go off.
Where'd you hear that?
Shortly. Huh?
Where'd you hear that?
I've heard it. I actually asked at my last exam, and the nurse practitioner said that there had been a study out, and it was really not the best study, or no one really
Right.
knew.
It's not all that well studied, but it makes sense that it might not work.
Yeah,
so well.
it does make sense. But I guess I'm wondering, since I'm pretty much decided to go off the St. John's wort because of, I don't know.
Well, who's monitoring? Who's treating you with the St. John's wort?
I'm treating myself.
You treating yourself for depression?
On St. John's wort. Yeah.
That's bizarre.
Well, maybe she's not that depressed. How depressed are you?
Not that depressed.
There you go. Well, why don't you forget about that wart?
But listen, let's just put it in this context, Susan, though.
Oh, no.
Just listen.
I know. This is ridiculous. Can I leave?
What's ridiculous? If I were depressed,
All right.
I have many different medications at my disposal.
Right,
It
in the
would
trunk of your
be
car.
insane for me to treat myself. That's
Right.
considered foolishness.
We've done this before. Drew gives it to me, and I hand it to him.
Yeah.
Technically, I'm
So,
treating him.
For people to be treating themselves for depression is bizarre.
Yeah.
If you have a bona fide medical condition that needs evaluation, and then let somebody else make those decisions about therapeutics for you, that's fine.
Previous to going on the St. John's Wort, I had been in therapy, and at one point it was just mentioned.
Listen, hold on. Drew's on the National Depressive Board,
Anyway,
which is very
so-
fitting. Hold on, shut up. The reason he's pushing depression as a medical illness is because he's in the pockets of these people. But everyone's depressed a little bit. It's a matter of degree. And when it gets over a certain point, then it becomes a bona fide condition.
How do you decide if you're...
I decide. That's how.
That's the
Susan?
point. If somebody
That's
recommended you take St. John Wort, it's fine. Somebody also should decide how long and when it stops and at what
But-
condition it stops.
If you
Can't you get St. John's? Isn't it like at Trader Joe's or the
Yeah.
health food
Yeah.
store?
Oh, it's all over the place.
You know, it's not
but,
like.
But it's the point is these are serious conditions and people don't even
well,
have to
have you ever
But,
tried?
but also people
Yeah.
maybe kick around depression. Maybe she's.
That's what I'm getting to.
But no, she saw a therapist. Therapist brought it up and she followed direction.
Hold on
so
a
it's
second.
a little closer to what I would like to see.
Wait
her
a
do.
second. You ever try to kill yourself?
No.
You're fine.
No, I'm not that bad.
Yeah.
You know, you should be in the insurance industry. That's where you should be at.
I wanted to go
Wait a
on
minute. How do you sleep at night?
pretty well.
You do.
Yeah.
But she's on St. John's Wort.
All right. Get off that ward. See how you sleep. Listen, if you sleep fine, you're not depressed.
Well, okay, so when
never
I'm
wakes
off,
up.
how long before I can feel safe being on the pill alone?
Next cycle.
Next cycle?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Because I was going to be off the...
All right. We can't dedicate the entire
What,
show to her.
what have you been doing all weekend? Sitting around.
Eating.
You've been alone. You've been sitting
Been
alone,
alone,
masturbating
yeah.
and napping.
How? Oh, yeah. You're, I was about to say out there.
It's like you've had no contact with humanity for 3
No.
days or something.
No.
Other than your family, which doesn't
Now,
count.
you know what's going on? They keep running these marathons of certain shows on television,
Yeah.
and I'm going insane.
Rugrats are on.
No,
continuously now.
no. There's a show called Junkyard Wars. Where has anyone seen this show? You seen the show?
I saw the
Monty?
commercials for it.
They basically let these gearheads loose in a junkyard. It's an interesting show. Even you could get it up for this, Drew. They say here's what they do. It's filmed it's in England or somewhere. They let two teams of gearheads, like 4 people, 5 people on each team together. They cut them loose in a junkyard. They give them 10 hours to build could be a submarine, could be like a hovercraft, could be, and they give them a task. Your vehicle must go X amount of feet on land, and then go X amount of feet in the water, and then go X amount of feet on land with all 4 of you aboard, and whoever does it the fastest wins the coveted whatever it is. I saw 11 of those straight, I couldn't turn it off because I had to see who was going to win at the end, and then the very next one, they were building some kind of land yacht or some sort of flying machine or something. I had to watch. I couldn't turn it off. Then BattleBots on Comedy Central came on, and they were running a marathon.
BattleBots.
This is this great thing in San Francisco. It's been going on for a lot of years, that people build these remote control robots, but they're not really robots. They're, essentially riding mowers with blades on them stuff, and they beat the crap out of each other to see who wins. You've never seen? But you never seen the competition? It's been around for a lot of years.
That's good. I'm glad to know I've missed out on that.
Oh my God!
So
and I'm
many
sitting,
things.
I'm sitting
So
there in
little
my
time.
underpants on my 5th glass of wine, thinking I'm going to build one of these babies. I'm studying you now. I'm giving you all fair notice because I will be in the arena with my BattleBot one day. These guys are great, I mean, they're all the same guy.
It's your airplane friends.
Yeah.
Your model airplane friends.
Yes, these are my model airplane friends with a slightly more aggressive antisocial streak to them. Crazy guys who are made fun of for playing Dungeons and Dragons, and now they become electronic engineers, and they sit in their basement of their mom's house all day. And, yes, Trekkies, but anyway, the point is they have these marathons, and these things should be outlawed because I cannot get off of them. I saw, 15 BattleBot episodes and 11 Junkyard War episodes. All right, Monty Messex is our guest tonight. Is the Man Show on? Yeah, it's on now? We'll take a break. We'll be back. It is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew over there. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Monty Messex is our guest tonight. Monty is not only a guy I've known since I was 8 years old, maybe 7.5, but also works at the Children's Hospital in Los Angeles. He's here tonight talking about AIDS and what's the fastest growing new AIDS victim population, Monty?
I think that probably the largest group there's a lot of different groups that are expanding. Women, for one, women of color.
It's nice to see them stepping up.
Young men who have sex with men, also moving up. But I think that one of the largest groups that...
See, who says white men are hogging everything? You know what I mean? We're always accused of gobbling up everything. But here's women of color stepping out and asserting themselves.
Yeah, and mostly, though, I think that it's the concern is that among young people that rates of HIV are increasing among young people.
It says every hour of every day, more than 2 people under the age of 21 are infected with HIV. Is that worldwide?
No, that's the United States. That's actually out of a recent report from the White House on HIV that just came out last month. Yeah.
Wow.
And they did something, Youth and HIV/AIDS, an American Agenda. It's out of the White House.
I don't know if you know this, that 53,000 people died last year of secondhand smoke in the United States. Is that coming from the same source? Or here's my problem. It really is, and I hate to be such a a-hole, but now I don't believe anything. Ever since that goddamn secondhand smoke statistic of 53,000 people dying in this country from secondhand smoke, and ever since the anti-smokers got hold of the number, did start doing the math on stuff, now when I hear reports on anything, I don't believe it. Do you know what I'm saying? It has ruined me. I'd like to sue them for stealing my hope or my faith.
I
don't believe it. I mean, I believe it, but I don't believe anything anymore.
But the thing is, with numbers get cooked up here and there, and all it bouncing around. But in terms of HIV, which is a preventable disease, you have to say to yourself, I'm a human being, I'm a person, I'm not a statistic, and what can I do to protect myself? And I think that's the reason I'm here tonight, is to talk about HIV testing and about how people can protect themselves.
Right.
And it's a reality. It's a reality.
All right, you ready to hop on the phones here? Mm-hmm. I was listening to, by the way, I know it's big amongst African Americans, and I was listening to Jesse Jackson deliver some speech on, I don't know, some public access radio or something, and he was talking about how high it was in Africa. I mean, you were talking about how it's like, I don't know, 25% of the population has HIV, and then he was talking about what a travesty it was that African Americans were 6 times higher, had a 6 times greater chance, or 600 times, or whatever it was, greater chance. Wait, 6 times and 600 times, same thing, isn't it? If you think about it, why not?
600%, you mean?
Oh, percent, sorry. I don't mean times, yeah. Here's my point. He was angry that the African Americans had a 6 times higher chance of getting it than other folks. But I thought, all right, but that's still pretty good considering, you got the African part right in there and the African American. You know what I mean? I thought it's not so bad.
Compared to other worldwide experiences of people there.
25% in your country of origin. You know what I mean? Right. And here it's only...
Speaking of cooked up numbers.
But the thing is that HIV primarily affects people in lower socioeconomic.
Yes.
That is, with people that don't have as much money in our country. Tend to be the people, regardless of skin color, that's where it focuses.
Let me explain something to everybody.
Poverty.
Let me explain. Poverty, that is the ultimate bias. Mm-hmm. That is, forget about racism, forget about sexism, povertyism. That'll get you. You can buy your way out of anything. And it's dangerous to be poor. Mm-hmm. It is.
Oh, and statistics people show that. People don't live well along.
I mean, but people want to act like it's not, or like everything should be equal. Here's the deal. When I was poor, I drove a beat-up mini pickup truck with no headrest, with my head resting against the rear glass of the thing, with no airbag, with no side impact beam, with no nothing. Okay? I probably had a 1,000% chance higher of crashing
Or of dying.
in a crash.
Yeah.
Now I got a
Not
car.
to mention, you probably didn't have health insurance.
I didn't have any of that.
Insurance.
Didn't have any of that. That had to do with being poor. And when you're poor, you do stuff. You have jobs that are more dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
You sit at a bus stop at 2 a.m. in a bad neighborhood.
You eat worse food.
You eat worse food. You live in a neighborhood where the crime rate is higher. There's just lots. It's dangerous.
risks, yeah.
There's lots of risk, and this is another one of those risks. So forget about the HIV. Make some money. That's my point. You know how many airbags my car has now? It has one in the trunk, just in case I'm trying to smuggle someone across the border. There's a trunk airbag in there. I have a rectal airbag that's actually on the bottom of the seat that goes up my ass.
You're not supposed to use that quite so frequently. I may have mentioned that to you.
I got a little toggle put on the dash.
I know, that's what
for long trips.
You know, retractable airbag. What does that mean?
It's a rectal retractable airbag. It actually comes up out of the seat and then darts
Did you learn
back
that
down.
in the BattleBots? One of the guys from BattleBots like built that into your car. Or
I'm
something?
putting an airbag on my BattleBot. Kimmy,
Yeah, I'm here.
you're 16.
Yeah, I was wondering if it's normal for a girl to masturbate 2 times a day.
It's a little light. I'd like to see that number bumped up to 3 or 4, but
Yeah, on video.
How old were you How old were you when you started this?
Probably about 13.
And is it interfering with your life in any way?
Not really.
Okay. So
But I was just wondering, like, hormonally, if that would screw anything up.
no. The question is, though, do you have some sort of sexual compulsion? And an easy way to sort of assess your risk for that is how your upbringing was. In other words, during your childhood, was there any traumas that might have...
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and so being traumatized either with physical abuse or sexual abuse or...
No, it was more of a mental,
Yeah, all that it's funny the way the brain works. Some of that gets converted into sexuality as a way of sort of managing those feelings.
Also, I'd like to know if manic depression has to do with something with hypersexual activity.
Absolutely. If you're in a manic phase or in a hypomanic phase, definitely lots of sexual activity.
Well, my mother was, so...
So this may be, so having been in that kind of a chaotic environment, having that genetic predisposition, this hypersexuality you're manifesting may be just a sign of that coming forward. So it would be just a good idea to get an evaluation just to see if there's something you should be watched for. Not that you have to stop masturbating, but it may be a sign that something's going on.
Yeah, maybe I just listened to Loveline too much.
Yeah, where's your dad, Crazy?
I don't have one.
Uh-oh.
He's not with me.
Yeah.
I've never met him before, so let's put it that way.
All right. Well,
But
listen.
masturbation is very safe as far
It's safe,
as...
though, I understand that.
I mean, if you use a condom, it's safe.
And it's not interfering with your life any right now, but...
And it's not
You
like
can't get
I'm
HIV
lacking,
from masturbating.
No, lacking?
Lacking, like, sexually. It's not like I don't get any. It's just that
Yeah, sure. Well,
I like to, and I like to do it my way. I was just wondering if that's healthy.
Yeah.
Look, Kim, I guess you didn't hear anything I
It
said.
started off as healthy, but now it's starting to spill over
it's
into
a sign.
unhealthy.
Yeah, it's a sign of a bigger picture.
All right, let me
of something
talk. Let me
going on
talk
here.
this, Kim. Kim,
Yeah?
you have some problems.
Yeah.
It's not the masturbation. Don't focus on the masturbation.
Okay.
That is a byproduct of whatever
It's a
energy
sign.
you have.
It's a sign of something else.
That's right. Your dad's abandoned the family. Your mom's a little screwy, and you got some energy.
And you've got a genetic makeup that might send you down this kind of path.
So here's the deal: you have to not get pregnant.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
That's my mission for you. Do not
and
get
get
pregnant.
one of the new bicycle seats, right?
Yeah, get that bike with the slot cut out of the middle of it, and don't get pregnant. As a matter of
Use
fact,
condoms.
I'd like to get I'd like to invent a bike seat that made guys sterile. I believe guys who spend more than 10 hours a week on a bike should not be having kids.
Should be rendered sterile, right? Oh, okay.
Well, think about it. You want that raising your son, raising a daughter? You know what I mean? Here's a guy who's spending that kind of time on a bike seat. There's an adult on a bicycle, for Christ's sake. Okay. And listen, I don't trust any of these guys who turn whatever their hobby is into some kind of way of life. You snowboarding idiots, you skateboarding guys, you biking guys, all you guys. Fine. I understand you're into it. I'm not. Keep it to yourself. I don't need to see the stickers and the patches, the decals, the racks. I don't need to know about your life. I don't need to pass you at the Vons and know you're seriously into snowboarding. Do you know what I mean? I'm not jacking off at the Fonz. I don't want you snowboarding. Do you know what I'm saying?
There is a tendency to people to identify themselves.
Hold on a second. Anderson yelled into the mic, except for 4 people were talking at the exact same time. He yelled into the mic. So, what was he saying? What were you saying?
You make a living off talking about what you do all the time.
How dare you?
Masturbating.
Did you hear him?
Yeah, you should make up some masturbation stickers.
What I'm saying is
I love,
whatever,
I heart. Here you go, Adam. It's for you.
Whatever it is you're into, don't advertise it. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're Mr. Straight Guy, Mr. Gay Guy, Mr. Biker Guy.
Let's take this
flawed,
sort of
all of you.
A common and simplistic version of this is people put stickers of their high school or college on there. Just so if people
don't like those people.
But people, you share something, you identify someone with something, you have contact with somebody around a shared issue.
Yes.
And so the natural progression of that is to sports and styles and things like that.
Yeah, I don't mind you. I don't mind knowing that you're an alumni of Loyola Marymount. It doesn't bother me that much. It's when we start getting into professions, start talking about how nurses do it from 9 to 5, or these, you start basically laying out the kind of person you are in your license plate. Yeah, no, I don't have any stickers. I deem everyone with a vanity license plate as flawed.
That is true.
Yeah, I don't trust any of those people. I'm not interested in what your kids' names are. I don't care. I don't care what you're into. I don't care how much, if you're into two-stepping. I don't care what you're into. And I don't want to know, and I think there's something wrong with you for wanting me to know about it. That's all I'm saying, especially on the highway. And then the ones that just advertise they're good, they're bitchy people. They see these license plate frames that say 99% angel, 1% bitch, or yes I do, but not with you. Or these a-holes with the bad boy club sticker on their rear bumper. Oh man, this guy's tough. He's got a sticker. Look at that. What's he advertising? Don't rape him. What is he saying? And then there's, of course, the ones with the Calvin or Hobbs peeing. The other guys that are angry at other makes of automobiles.
Yeah.
He's a Ford man. He's pissed off about any guy driving a Chevy. Everyone knows Ford rules. Because his brother-in-law was stupid enough to buy one and then give him his F-150. I just don't like people that advertise in general.
And it is all about you. So
yeah, it's flawed.
Yeah.
Drew,
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
No, I know what you're talking
You don't have a goddamn thing on your car.
Mm-mm.
Is there?
Barely have wheels.
Drew actually had the license. You actually had the car name pulled off of your car, right?
Yeah. I know people see that.
Took the B of the BMW. It just says BM on it now.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Monty Messex is our guest tonight. He's here from the Children's Hospital in Los Angeles, old friend of mine, and tonight we're trying to enlighten ourselves on AIDS. We'll be back after this. Yeah, it is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew over there. Monty Messex is our guest tonight. Monty's here talking about HIV and AIDS. Monty had a national number to call, an 800 number, Monty. Oh, wait, don't give it out just yet. We're going to let people grab their pen and pencil and poise themselves with that. And then this is a number they can call for what?
This is a number that you can call to get a referral for testing if you live in, it's a national number, so you can call it, tell them where you live. They'll they'll hook you up directly with a testing site in your area, or say like for Los Angeles, they'll direct you to a number that you can call to get free HIV testing. A lot of these testing sites do oral testing. That is, they don't have to take blood. They use they don't test your saliva or your spit. They just take like a little scraping out of your mouth, basically, and test the cells in your inside of your cheek.
Okay.
And
what's that
anyways,
number?
This is an 800 number. It's kind of a weird 800 number, but it's free. So it's 866 exam HIV. So 866 exam HIV. That's the number.
Put the actual numbers, yeah.
How does that work?
866-392-6448. And
so you mean it's a
eponym?
But it's I thought it was an acronym.
Yeah, acronym.
It's a 8. The 800 is the 866 part.
Right. It's like they ran out of the 800, so they went from the 888 to the 866, and who knows what's next.
All right, so we're now on the 866 exam.
But it's free.
For dictionary.
Yeah. All right. Drew's scared he may be wrong about something. Janie.
Yes.
You're 21. What's up?
Okay, I was in a situation over the weekend where I was at a bar, and there was like a lot of people, and I was in a crowded stairway. Someone shredded up, someone shredded, there's so many people passing, someone came up beside me and kind of shredded against me, and I felt like a hard pinch on my shoulder, and I looked in the light, and the mark that had been left was like what could have resembled a possible puncture wound.
Like a needle?
Yeah, as in a needle. And I was wondering, how much truth do you find in accusations that people make, like the rumors that people say that people are getting stuck in bars or movie theaters or by some psycho that's out to infect people with needles?
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
No.
I mean, I get emails all the time. People talk about it, and
did the puncture wound draw blood?
No, but the thing was that I had a physical done where I had to draw some blood, and I didn't bleed afterwards at all.
How do you know it was a puncture if there was no blood?
I mean, there was no. I mean, it just looked like I've been pricked by something. There was a scratch as well, and I was freaked out. I had a police report made. I was totally spooked.
Police report? Jesus Christ, honey. Do you have your own personal police force, or is this the one we all use?
I told the bouncer what had happened at the club, and they have to do that, I guess.
They have a liability.
Why do you tell the bouncer?
I think she did the right thing.
Did you see a needle?
This is
or
what the cops are busy doing.
There were so many people, and
I mean, it wasn't just a sharp pencil, or the guy had a pin in his coat that he forgot to take out, or
so
like that.
The question then becomes: should she have prophylaxis for exposure? And I would think not, but it's a contestable point.
All right, but this is a wives' tale. This people going out and infecting other people, and then taking their lipstick and drawing messages on the mirror of the hotel they just got done having sex in, and it's right up there with stealing the guy's kidneys and selling them on the black market.
I can't believe everything you hear, but then it's like...
I think that the analogous thing is in hospitals, people do get pricked by needles, and then the question is, do you go and get some kind of treatment? And a lot of times, the odds are, that the treatment's not really warranted.
Right. All right.
Maybe
Janie,
if you're worried, get tested.
Yeah, go get tested.
Okay, thanks.
Have fun.
So definitely get tested.
Yeah, and everyone, leave the cops alone, please. Please let them go out and do something other than sit around with their goddamn radar guns and go to clubs and write up crazy chicks who got stabbed with a belt buckle going down a stair. That's 2 cops. What did you say? 2 cops, 2.5 hours, for Christ's sake? Oh, Jesus. Driving down Beverly Boulevard 2 days ago, there was the cop just sitting there, just sitting on that driveway, just holding that radar gun. Not enough manpower. We don't have enough manpower. Yeah, because you're all sitting around trying to bust taxpayers. Get off your ass and get busy.
Zach is 15. Zach?
All you nut jobs calling cops to come over if your cat's in a tree, or your husband had too many wine coolers, or the neighbors playing their stereo too loud. Come on.
Zach?
Let these guys do something.
You there, Zach? Zach, you sleeping?
Zach, 75 minutes.
Forget Zach. Katie?
Yep.
Oh.
You're 24. What's up? What?
Ever since I started having sex, that was when I was 19.
Yeah.
I've had problems on and off with pain during sex, and it seems to get worse when I'm on the pill. I went through a phase where I tried a bunch of different kinds of pills, and whenever I was on it, it was horrible. And then if I stopped it within a couple weeks, it seemed better.
All right, well, let's just get to this. We don't have much time. Are you crazy?
No, not at all.
No, you sure?
Do you lubricate normally?
Yes.
Yeah. You ever get raped or sexually abused by your dad?
Nope.
Uncle?
Not at all.
Grandfather?
Nope.
Neighbor?
Nobody.
Gardener?
Nobody at all.
Priest? No.
Any medical problems? Any anatomic problems? Unusual?
I'm depressed, and I'm being treated for that. But before that even happened,
why are you depressed? What's up?
I am depressed.
What do you got to be depressed about?
Well, that's what the depression is about. I honestly don't have anything specific to be depressed, but I am anyway.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm on medication.
I see. All right, so it's a family thing?
Yeah, it's a chemical thing in my family.
Okay. All right. I think my family has that, too.
Oh, yeah.
But the question I have also, because talking about family stuff, is I had spoken to my mom about this before, and she said that she used to have a lot of pain during sex.
Ooh, I'm so happy
We got to
I wasn't
revisit
there.
this. Yeah.
All right. What should he do? No, I'm not. What should she do? I'm not going back there.
I need more information.
That's enough.
No.
Take a wild stab, then. Wild guess. Talk to her off the air.
All right.
All right. We'll be back.
Loveline will be right back. Loveline will be right back. Loveline will be right back.
Hey, Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. Dr. Drew is in the other room talking to, I hope he's talking to our last caller. Yeah, he is. There he is. And he labeled her as nuts and hostile. I hope she can't hear us right now. Drew, you can't hear me, can you, brother? No, good. He looked over here as if he could hear me, and then he looked back down again. Yeah, get her off the phone, would you, Drew? All right. Monty Messex is our guest tonight. Monty is not only a guy
Hello.
I met originally, I'd say 8 years old. What would you say, Monty?
Oh, jeez. I can't even remember. I remember, though, that it was old enough where I slept over at your house on the weekends. You slept over at my house on the weekends, and we probably slept in the same bed together.
How dare you? Yes, but we were poor. Monty,
we were little kids.
Monty and I had all kinds of fun growing up. We got a refrigerator box and went down some grass hill behind his house. His mother, Roberta, smacked me in the back of their Volvo station wagon while we were driving.
I remember having goulash at your grandfather's house.
Oh, went over to my grandpa's house and had a beautiful bowl of authentic Hungarian goulash. We go way, way back. And now Monty, and this is pure coincidence, by the way, he's working for the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, and he's waging a one-man crusade to prevent AIDS.
No.
At least a two-man. Drew?
Drew.
How'd that go over there? Did you talk
Interesting.
that last caller?
Interesting. Yeah.
She all right?
Yeah.
All right.
But, I mean, she really has a sort of medical problem there, and she's going to talk to a gynecologist about estrogen creams or testosterone creams sometimes help. It's actually an issue of how the tissue functions down there.
Ooh.
And I had the onus of telling her that maybe she'd have to keep it down below 5 minutes of activity.
Oh.
So as not to irritate that whole thing.
Nice. Yeah. What do you mean how the tissue, the vaginal tissue works? How does that work?
Well, it's under the influence of hormones. If the estrogen levels are not high enough, if the sort of environment isn't good, the tissue gets irritated and dry and atrophic.
What do you do with that estrogen cream? Does the man put that on his penis and then?
No, she just puts it on the outside and then the applicator to put it in.
Oh, really?
You could be the applicator. I don't know if that's what you're getting at.
Could I?
Just has to go there.
Could I eat the estrogen cream and inject it my own way?
No.
No, that wouldn't work?
It wouldn't work like that, no. No more than you could inject marshmallow.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Something else to try for.
Could create a battle bot.
With a hole in the seat. Staria?
Staria?
Oh, Staria.
Staria.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Your parents, were they serious with that?
Yeah.
Really? Are they hippies, or what are they?
I don't know. I suppose like back in the day.
Well, wait a minute. Back in the days, 1984.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I guess they just thought the name was pretty.
All right.
Yeah, think about the kids of hippies now. We don't have to worry about anymore. They're 40.
No. I know. Yeah. Happy and sunshine.
But maybe these are the ones having the starias and the sunshines, yeah.
Staria?
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
Well, first of all, I wanted to say I love your program,
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah. I'm a masochist. It's, a lot of people pretty much praise it, on the internet and everything.
Pretty much what?
They praise it?
Gay for masochism, S&M and everything.
Right.
But if you actually have it, it's a disease. It's a very big problem.
Interesting. What do you mean?
I can't stop myself from cutting or burning or
Yeah, well, that's not masochism. That's
Self-mutilation.
That's cutting. That's self-mutilation. That's different.
Yeah.
And masochism is really considered a fetish of sexual expression. Like, in order to function sexually, you have to have a certain amount of violence brought on in the action of sex.
Right.
But cutters and self-mutilators do that all the time as a way of managing all kinds of feelings.
So it's not called masochism?
No, it's called cutting.
Oh, really? Oh,
Or self-mutilation.
yeah.
You burn yourself with cigarettes and cut razor blade marks and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're holding yourself hostage and trying to get information out of yourself.
It's interesting that you would even associate with a sexual sort of form of expression, because people have tried to make that connection, that there is some sort of throwback to something about one's sexuality, but it's sort of irrelevant.
So what happened to you?
I don't know. When I was little, I was kind of on the chunkier side, I guess. And I just thought maybe it would bring out the pain or something, you know?
No.
But yeah.
No.
It just, I guess I learned to like it. And
Hold on a second. You were chunky?
yeah.
So what?
Well, I mean, I have a mother who's very weight conscious and an older sister, and, you know.
Chunky?
You were chunky? And so wait, I still don't get it. Your mom was weight conscious. And what'd that mean? She didn't like you being chunky?
Well, no, she never really said anything, but, you know,
that's an amazing amount of pressure.
Crimping in the mirrors.
What? There's something missing here. What else happened to you? Something big missing.
When I was younger, nothing really happened.
What happened? Did anyone beat on you?
No. Oh, my God, no. I had, like, the greatest family life. So.
What about your sister?
What about her?
What about her?
Nothing.
Yeah, you said you brought her into the equation.
Well, because she was always very, you know, look conscious also.
I see.
And she was always the perfect one.
Yeah.
What'd you do? Eating disorder. What'd your dad do for a living?
He's a blacksmith.
Aha!
Blacksmith.
Blacksmith.
They still have blacksmiths.
Where are you calling from? The 1800s?
Do you have a car?
Yeah, of course he has the car.
I drive a wagon.
2 of them.
2 cars.
Yeah.
Your dad made it
Well,
in the foundry.
A truck and a car.
You did what?
A truck and a car.
A truck and a car. Your dad's a blacksmith?
He makes, like, gates and stuff. Like,
I see. Does wrought iron work.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, I could use a guy like that. All right, so nothing big, no abuse, nobody,
no sexual abuse, nothing.
no one did anything horrible to you.
No.
All right, well then stop. Thank you. If nothing happened to you and you grew up in a loving environment with 2 parents that are still remain together and showered you with love, then stop burning yourself with cigarettes. There's got to be more there.
Yeah, there's more there, but I would say it's not going to come out. We're just talking to her on the radio, and it's a sign that there's some real serious emotional issues going on.
How much of this can be nature? Can it be nature?
You and I never hear about it.
We don't, but I don't know if it's documented.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Can people have a certain propensity for that sort of
and
activity?
then given the right environmental sort of cues to bring it on, maybe. But I've never seen it that way. It always has some sort of specific stuff going on.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
here's the
what
deal.
I mean is alcoholism has its gene.
Yeah.
This is another thing where you get a sort of a thrill from...
It's real common in addicts.
High-risk sort of behavior or risky behavior or painful behavior.
If I had to paint her family portrait, that's an alcoholic dad, over-intrusive mom, perfectionistic, idealized older sister, and she's the chunky one that it was intruded upon also, but doesn't get to all the benefits.
Well, Dad's got to be an alcoholic.
Yeah.
He's a blacksmith. Staria, your dad's an alcoholic, right?
No.
Yeah?
He drinks occasionally.
Aha!
The thing is, I'm not fat anymore.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't
You'll always
stop.
see a fat person in the mirror.
I'm
just
kind of like chunky.
Just like I'll always see a Brillo head in the mirror. That's the way it goes.
Well,
really? You think you're...
having somebody that would love me like a boyfriend or something, is that going to help?
No one can love you until you learn to pay them to love... No, until you love yourself.
We're concerned about the kind of guy you would choose.
Yeah.
That's the concern.
I can't believe Dad's a blacksmith and doesn't drink.
Get that history clarified.
No, I'll just say it is. Zach?
Who's sleeping?
Oh, Zach's still sleeping. Zach's been on hold for 91 minutes. Let's hear him snore. There it is.
That's nice. Oh, Zach? Zach? Hey, Zach.
Hey, Zach. This is teen idol Adam Carolla. I command you to do my bidding for me. I'd like you to start by going on a killing spree tomorrow. Oh, he can hear me. Start with something small, like a neighbor's dog, and then we'll work our way up into classmates and eventually politicians. See if I can plant something subliminally, Drew. Oh, he's shifting around.
He's responding to your commands. Signify that you hear him by breathing hard.
Yes,
into the
if the answer is yes to my plea of killing for me, breathe out very hard in a very nasally way.
Huh? See how back.
He didn't do it that time.
Zach? Oh, that was a yes.
Zach, I'd like you to soil yourself.
Usually you ask people to make a giant pot.
Oh, no. Here's what
you collect all the animals in the world for the upcoming Armageddon.
Here's what I'd like you to do. Zach, hold on, let me talk, Zach. You're very comfortable. You're very warm. You're sitting on a toilet. You're on your own personal throne.
You've just had a battle out in front of a castle.
That's something else. You've just eaten a huge Thanksgiving dinner with all the trimmings. You should have never had that third helping of candied yams, but you did anyway. And then you wash it all down with a big cup of coffee. Now you're sitting on the toilet. You're very, very relaxed. And it's time to let yourself go. Let yourself experience the pleasures of the movement. Ready? Go.
That's great radio.
He just seemed to stop whatever he was doing.
You know, I was thinking
we'll
about
get back with him, see if he crapped in his pants later.
Incontinence for some reason this weekend, and
for some reason, every weekend.
Yeah, that's right. It is an incontinent weekend. But I was thinking about your dreams as it pertained to your bedwetting history, and it seems like
what dreams?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. The one you've told is usually about the release after some violent aggression. And people have always,
urinating?
Yeah, and people have always theorized that the enuresis had something to do with aggression and violence. And I thought to myself, no, it's what people do after a release of aggression. It's when they're letting go of an aggressive impulse. When you're done killing all the Huns out on the fjord, that's when you pee.
Right. That was only one dream where I wet my girlfriend's bed. My other wet your bed dreams have been, at an airport standing in front of a urinal.
You weren't just pissed off at a stewardess or something?
No, I didn't do any ass kicking, Although I was beating up a guy last night in my dreams.
Did you pee afterwards?
No, I didn't. No.
Who was the guy? Anybody should know?
No, just some guy. It's always the same dream. I never can beat him up properly. It's like wearing a helmet or something. Paul?
Yeah.
You're 15. What's up?
Yeah, actually, I made up the call for the call stream. I just wanted to call up and say you guys are great. And, Adam, you know how you're always talking about the behymen?
Yeah.
Well, I was talking with a bunch of my buddies, and they were, talking about the poontang,
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking maybe we should get a boontang.
Boontang. Oh, yeah. All right, hold on a second. Thanks, Paul. The behymen is what gay males have in their rectum that can either be broken or they can remain virgins. I think every male has a behymen, does he not, Drew?
Yeah.
That is the equivalent to the female's hymen. Drew, your behymen still intact?
Spiritually.
Okay. If you don't count Jewish camp in 1971. But here's what he was saying. Oh, I have no idea what he's saying. Forget what he's saying.
Hey, let's bring up the National AIDS hotline number for finding alternative test sites or any test sites.
Any test sites? Well, no. There are test sites that are included. Hopefully, they're. I know the ones in Los Angeles. We've done a really good job in making sure that test sites that people get referred to are youth sensitive. That is, that they have flexible hours. They're free. They offer blood and OraSure. They also offer confidential or anonymous testing, as you can give your name, or you don't have to give your name, or you can make up a name if you want to. And the number is 1-866, that's a free number, 866-EXAM-HIV. 1-866-392-6448. Tell the operator what city you're calling from, and they will hook you up with a number to get HIV testing.
Do they give you? I went down to a free clinic and got tested for AIDS.
For HIV.
I mean HIV. I don't know, 8 years ago or something like that, and you had to do the whole course. You know, where the 600-pound black woman put the condom on the cucumber and the whole... You know what I'm talking about?
Yep, there are those places.
They're still doing that? Do we have to be subjected to that?
Yes. Well, hopefully.
We can't just go down and get tested and get the hell out of there?
Well, I mean, you know, if you go to a place where it's cool, you know, hopefully you can say to them, look, you know, I don't want to do the cucumber and this and that. And I know how to do the condom.
It worked though. I didn't get laid for another 3 years.
You just like always pulled out a condom and a cucumber, and then they just ran screaming.
No, I couldn't achieve an erection for a full 18 months after that visit to the clinic.
Sex in the City tonight, a big thing about HIV testing.
Oh, really? Drew, you watched that, huh?
I watched lots of TV this weekend.
Yeah.
I love Sex in the City.
Ken?
Yeah.
You're 17. What's up?
All right. Last night I was at this party, you know, and this girl.
I don't believe him.
Yeah, I don't believe him either.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, God. Don't do this to me. Please, God. I'm just trying to be quiet because my mom's in the other room.
All right. Mm-hmm. I have no idea what his question is. I just heard his first three
didn't seem
words.
sincere.
I didn't believe him.
Heard the party and it was bogus, but just...
All right, keep going.
All right. At this party, you know, this girl, I've had a couple drinks. She's had a couple drinks. You know, we start doing stuff. You know, she's, God, it's hard. Oral sex, you know, that kind of thing. We start going at it sexually. And, you know, put on a condom over the whole 9 yards, but it keeps, like, slipping off. So she says, well, I'm on the pill anyway. So I take it off, and then, you know...
Why didn't she say that at the beginning?
Huh?
Why didn't you just, you know, why didn't she just bring that up at the beginning?
I don't know.
Maybe she liked the idea of safe sex.
All right. I'll go along with that.
Well, anyway, you know, put the condom on, came out, then, you know, we went about whatever, you know, had sex, but I didn't finish in her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I don't know, I guess I just couldn't, and like, after a while, I just pull out, you know, finish myself off, and, you know, go take a shower, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Where did you finish yourself off?
Like the bed, like right next to her, where we were at.
That's a James Bond type move. Hold on, honey. Whilst I jack off. What do you want? A red book, something to read? Crossword puzzle?
Well,
I'll be jacking off over here.
I made her finish like 10 minutes into it.
I see.
So, you know, it was just like, she was just waiting for me to finish, and I said, well, you know, I just want to stop.
Right.
It's been like an hour already, so I'm tired. So then I asked her, I said, you know, when's the last time you got tested for diseases? And she said, it was like last month when I got my birth control pills.
How old was she?
Huh?
How old was she?
18.
Jeez.
Hey, Ken?
Yeah.
Was she trying to help you out when you were, like, trying to finish yourself?
No.
Oh, good. Let me tell you, it's bad etiquette, ladies. I know you're trying to help, but all that, like, oh, you're so hot.
No.
Yeah, look at you. Oh, you're big. Let me mess with your nipples. I was like, listen, I appreciate the fact you think I'm hot, but just quiet down. I got to finish checking off here. I got to focus.
Talking about how she has to go to work tomorrow. And, you know.
Oh, okay, but that's worse etiquette.
People are coming in and out of the room. I was just, like, chilling there.
You were jacking off while people were coming in and out of the room?
Yeah, it was weird situation. Very weird situation.
All right, I think you used the F word there, so we're going to have to put him on hold.
So, high risk. Yeah, risk. I think the question he's going to ask is, does the fact that he didn't ejaculate have any impact on his risk for HIV or any other disease for that matter?
Absolutely.
No, absolutely not. Oh. It may have a little bit to do with her risk. It may have increased her risk, but...
No,
really
it decreased her risk, right?
The fact that he didn't decreased her risk, yes, a little bit.
Why? Because
there may be virus in the semen.
Pre-cum.
Well, where is most of the virus coming from when a man is infecting a woman?
No one knows for sure, frankly.
They don't?
Probably the semen.
You guys haven't figured that out yet? So, what, 20 years?
Well, they think, though, that a lot comes from the pre-cum, what comes out first.
Why?
Which could come out...
But the point is they think it just comes from the urethra. just exposure of the urethra and the lubricants and things right there.
Right.
The reason, I mean, they just proved about 6 months ago that oral sex could transmit HIV. It had not been proven. And in those cases, those were all situations where semen was transmitted.
All right, but in a situation where a guy did not have an orgasm and did not have a leaky dork, as we like to say,
that's what I'm saying. It's not just leakiness. It's the exposure of the urethra.
Well, now we don't know that. You were just saying.
You're right.
That.
We don't. That's true. We don't.
Well, but I think though, from his a couple things that he said was that he didn't ejaculate, but just because you don't feel it, there's still some pre-cum. So that means that if you're not using a condom,
there doesn't necessarily have to be. But there is for most 18-year-old guys.
Right.
That's true.
So that puts the woman in this situation, though, is more at risk than he is, unless he has lesions on his penis or something like that. And a lot of times, if people are having sex where they're not using condoms, you're more at risk to get other sexually transmitted diseases like gonorrhea than you are to get HIV. I mean, you definitely can, but if you start getting STDs, you're at very high risk also for getting HIV.
Why?
Two or more STDs puts you in a high-risk category.
Well, it puts you in a high-risk category because you're the person who's out banging hoes without a condom.
All right.
And also because a lot of times...
in a high-risk category, you idiot.
No, but it's also says something about the kind of person, the kind of risk you're taking with the kind of person.
And also, just from a biological perspective, you have, with a lot of STDs, you have breaks in the skin. And so now there's like another way for the virus to get into your body.
Well, I'll buy that, but you see, I don't like those kind of studies really, because it sort of suggests that it is the disease, it is the herpes, or it is the gonorrhea that is making it higher. And I know what you're saying, but there's a lot of these tests that go down this way, and I think it's almost propaganda.
Okay.
It's saying if you're the kind of person that runs in this crowd, doesn't use a condom, you're going to get this disease, or you have a higher probability of getting the disease. But if you never got a disease, any other disease, you still weren't wearing a condom, you're still running with this crowd, you'd still have just as high a percentage chance of getting it as a person that had the other stuff. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Except for Monty's talking about the lesions, which is
you get lesions, and also I think another thing that this guy said that was is that the girl said that she got tested for diseases about a month ago, and see a good part of getting yourself HIV tested, which you were kind of bagging on, but seriously, is that when you get tested, they explain to you what a test means. So a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm HIV negative. I just got tested," and they don't really understand that. When you get tested, remember we were talking earlier about the window period, and that there's certain tests that can say for sure you're negative, and there's certain tests that say we didn't find the antibody, but you could have the virus in your body. You need to come back and get tested again in 6 months. And so when you go and you get tested, you need to take some time out and learn about what the test means, so that when some chick or some dude or whatever says to you, "Oh, I'm negative," you can say to them, "Well, when were you tested?" "Oh, I was tested a month ago. I was tested yesterday." And so that you can know what that means. And so then it's like, well, you know.
All right. Let me just say, see if Zach's still asleep there. He's been on hold for 103 minutes. Zach?
He's gone out to do your bidding for you.
He's killed the neighbor's dog?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to take ourselves a little break. Monty Messex is our guest tonight from the Children's Hospital in Los Angeles. We'll have give out that 800 number a couple more times for the night is through, so all you youngins can, and a website address so you guys can get yourself tested. We'll be back after this.
Loveline will be right back, so get your problems ready.
Hey, monkey boy, you're listening to Loveline right here. 94.7 NRK, the new rock alternative. Get out your nebulizer.
Okay, terrific.
They can't do it.
Hey, it is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew over there. Everclear's going to be in here in a couple of days, so it'll be good to see our friends again. Monty Messex is our guest tonight.
Hello.
He is from the Children's Hospital in Los Angeles, and he's here to, he comes in once a year and help people learn about AIDS and depressed people. National AIDS Day is...
World AIDS Day is December 1st.
World AIDS Day.
December 1st.
That's right.
Stuff going on all over the country. Here in Los Angeles, we have, I think, something at the African American Museum over in Exposition Park.
Right. They're having I think they're having an exhibit at the Klan Museum, which is over in it's in Orange County. They moved that to Simi Valley. I can't remember, but I'll be there cutting the ribbon. And what else do they have going on, Monty?
And they have in East Los Angeles, the Wall Los Memorias is doing something, I think, at Lincoln Park.
Right.
And I know that other places in the country, they're doing stuff.
Okay. Are white people allowed to participate? Or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'll be there.
I'm going to be there, too.
At the African American Museum.
And what are they doing? Where is that again?
In Exposition Park, it's across from the IMAX theater and the big airplane they have on the
right.
Natural History Museum. Thank you.
I never go to museums, or I try not to be enlightened. That's my point.
Except for if it's BattleBots.
Yeah, I was telling someone on the phone tonight after I explained to them I took a 2-hour nap today. They said, geez, didn't you sleep 10 hours last night? I said, listen to me. Soon we'll be dead, and then there'll be no more time for napping. So let's do it now. That's my point.
Amen.
That's the message I'd like to spread across this land. You are not going to have the opportunity to nap for the next 200 years. Your time on this planet is very limited. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
I'd hate to be on my deathbed and realize I wasn't in bed earlier, not when I wasn't on my deathbed. You see what I'm saying? That's right.
And napping is safe as far as HIV is concerned.
Let's get the napping in before we die.
Thing.
Tony?
Yeah?
You're 23.
Yes.
What's up?
Nothing much. I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my girlfriend, hit her up, but her pooty kind of smells.
I see.
Like when I try your oral, it's
bad times?
You just can't stand the smell.
I see. And maybe she has an infection or something.
That's what that's a sign of.
Yeah, well, but she told me she had sex with the other guy before me.
Uh-huh. You mean earlier that evening, or?
No, before, a couple years before she met me.
How dare she? That's right.
But the only thing, she told me she used condoms with the guy too.
Well, some of these vaginitis, these vaginal infections, are not sexually transmitted. In other words, they just can recur spontaneously.
Right.
So she needs to get that treated. We have a sort of a traditional answer we give to this.
Yeah, although I don't think anyone uses it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the advice I give on this show is not for the person who called up. It's for the sober people who are listening to the person who called up. Tony?
Yeah?
Here's what you tell her.
What?
And just listen to me, because this is one of my greatest ruses, and I wish more people would do this. You tell her that you heard this show, you heard Dr. Drew talking about this with another caller, not yourself, and that he said, if you smell something coming from that area, it could be a sign of infection.
Okay.
And that you're worried about her, and you're worried that she might have an infection. So
right.
you would like her to go to the gynecologist and get checked out because you love her so much.
Okay.
All right.
All right, what is that? Let's do a little role playing, Tony.
All right.
All right, I'll be, what's your girlfriend's name?
Erica.
Erica. All right, I'm Erica.
Okay.
You want to call me on the phone?
No, face-to-face.
Face-to-face?
It'll be face-to-face.
All right, you ready?
All right.
Hi, Tony.
Hi. No, it's...
Huh?
No, actually, all the times I ask you to do oral, you ask me to do oral to you.
What? I thought we were going out to dinner.
There we are. Just stuff we do afterwards.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The stuff he asked me to do to you.
Uh-huh.
I know. I know it's a strange smell down there, and I think you have some sexual transmitted diseases.
Oh, you're awesome, Tony. Hey,
how dare you?
Hey, Sir
I'll never blow you again.
James Bond. This is James Bond again. We've got him back.
Oh, how should I do it?
Yeah, how should you?
Not like that. Not like that.
Yeah, that was her. Yeah, hold on. Erica, your foo-foo smell is kind of skanky, and I think something, could have died or something.
Yeah, you're going to give me an STD.
And so you got stuff down there, and it's like you need like a hosing down or something. Yeah, that was not tactful. Tony, listen to me.
Yeah?
Here's what you do.
What?
You tell her. First off, don't be nervous. It's suggesting you're guilty. You know. Say
you're caring. You're concerned.
Yes, you're concerned. Try to be more concerned. Okay.
It's not about you.
Say that you're listening to Loveline.
All right.
And you heard Drew say that this may be a sign of infection when someone else called about it, and you're a little bit worried, and you're worried that she might have an infection.
All right.
All right, because you care about her.
All right.
And her health. Let's try it real quick. Real good. Here we go, Tony. You be Tony, okay? I'll be Erica.
All right.
Hi.
Hi. I was listening to Loveline.
Oh, that Adam, he's so funny. It's funny. Drew's a pig. That Adam is funny. He's witty. He's genius.
Yeah.
Genius.
But I was listening to Loveline, and they told me that this could be...
No.
What?
Stop. Why'd you call Loveline?
You called Loveline? Why?
You were listening to Loveline in the car.
You were talking about my smelly vagina on a national radio program? How dare you, sir? I'll thank you never to call me again.
She's never like that.
She wouldn't use quite that kind of language.
Oh, thank you. All right. Listen, goofball. Stop.
She won't be speaking the Queen's English.
Well, I'll think of somebody.
The temerity. No, listen, Tony, listen to me. Hold on a second.
This is why people don't use your rooms.
I was driving in the car, listening to Loveline on my way to the market.
Right.
And somebody called with this problem that reminded me.
And I was thinking, smelly.
Yeah.
Right.
We have a smelly problem.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Why do people have so much difficulty processing what I would consider to be a very simple,
Well, he
basic,
was on hold for like 5 hours.
and noble idea?
This is an example of the sad state of our education system.
Tony.
Yeah.
One more time, baby. You're going real good, except for you got the part where you called in to Loveline. Remember, you heard it. You were listening to Loveline. Someone else called in about this problem.
I was in the shower with my waterproof radio.
Right? You see what I'm saying? In your car. All right, one more time, Tony. Ready?
All right.
Hello. Tony, it's good to see you.
All right. While I was driving home, while I was driving up to meet you, I was listening to Loveline, and I heard them talking about some interesting things.
Well, like, do tell.
Well, another caller talked about the same problem I have.
Well, what problem is that? They have a small penis?
No.
I'm sorry.
It was some sexual problem.
I see.
And I think it's probably the same problem you have. So I think maybe you should go to a gynecologist to check this out.
What are you telling about? What problem?
I don't know. I'm lost. I can't.
Yeah, all right.
I can't think of anything else. I'll think of.
Listen, brother. Yeah, get drunk and just go for the full frontal attack. Forget. Start drinking. You can't work it out. Just start drinking. Jesus Christ. Man, we have our callers really have said. See, this is why I say the information is not for them, because they have no way of enacting them. I might, you know what? I might as well give a chimp a chemistry set and tell him if he can, whip up some table salt or gunpowder. I mean, I can provide the tools. That's all I can do. Do you know what I'm saying? All right. Oh, man.
Silvally,
you're 19.
Yeah, me and my boyfriend are both disabled.
Who?
My boyfriend and I.
Yeah.
And the problem is his mother is his conservator.
You're disabled. He is disabled?
Yeah, his conservator is his mother, and we can't get married until another 4 years because of insurance reasons, so we wanted to live together.
What's the nature of your disabilities?
He has frontal lobe damage, and I have things like schizophrenia, mental problems.
What is frontal lobe damage from? Car accident or something?
Yeah.
Car accident.
And the problem is, she won't let us live together, and according to law, conservatorship, Filipino Catholic, and she even told me once, called me on the phone to say, don't sleep with my son.
Don't sleep with him?
Yeah.
Oh, she meant have sex. She didn't mind the sleeping part, right?
Yeah.
Who's Filipino? She is?
She is, her son is, and she, I don't know, she tells me things like that a lot.
And what are you?
I'm white, and I'm Jewish, and so I'm not really sure what to do.
I see.
I mean, I'm always being nice to her and everything, and she can be nice most of the time, but every so often she'll bring up something bad.
Right. All right. And how old is this guy? You're 19.
He's 28, but we're on the same maturity level because of his brain injury. So.
Say it again?
Same maturity level because of his brain injury.
Yeah.
Oh, well, listen, most 28-year-old guys have 19-year-old mentality anyway.
Yeah, we're engaged.
Yeah, you're fine.
Well, why don't you just
It's interesting. Now, what... how is he... He's not functional? He can't work?
No, he can't work. Neither of us can work. We're both on the government. I'm trying to get a job right now.
Why is he unable to work? I understand he's had injuries, but get a job at McDonald's or something?
Is kind of a tool, and part of his problem is he has no self-control.
Right, no screening, no impulse control.
Yeah.
So they could do very weird stuff all of a sudden.
Couldn't he start a band?
Yeah, he'd be great.
He'd be great in music. Hey, all right. Listen, you need to talk to her. What's her mom's name? She got one of those wacky Filipino names?
Cleopatra.
Well, good. At least you didn't have
bad. Yeah, I thought you had a wacky Egyptian name.
I've tried talking to her before.
Hold on. Her name. Listen, you can't. Hold on. You can't reason with someone named Cleopatra. Is her name really Cleopatra?
Yeah.
You know what I think? I think
it's at work.
You just hang in there and manage things one day at a time. Don't look for some grand scheme to resolve this. I think your boyfriend seems to really love you. He's committed. She's in charge, but you both have a plan to wait it out. In the meantime, it seems like there's some unpleasantness here, but on a day-in, day-out basis, just kind of...
I mean, when we first met, she was nice and all, but even got to the point...
No, listen.
It'd be interesting to hear her... It'd be interesting to hear her perspective. As she may just be wanting to take care of her son.
She may be worried that you guys are, going to burn the house down or something.
Right. Or maybe she'll end up with two people that she has to take care of the rest of her life.
What a life, though. You two both move into together. You're on disability. You can watch TV all day long. You don't have to leave the house.
If he gets what
a life!
If he gets a sort of an inkling, he can't contain himself. He has to go now, whatever it is.
Hey, spontaneous.
Hunger, sex,
Hey, Silverly. Here's what you need to do. We need to listen. Cleopatra, or whatever your name is. I want you to always finish Cleopatra with "or whatever your name is." It's always extra insulting with people with weird names. Say, listen, that son of yours, this guy, he's a mess. No other woman's going to have him. Are you high? This guy's a vegetable.
Now, how about
I'm willing to take him in.
I make him happy.
This is not going to come up again.
I make him happy.
You waiting for some spokesmodel to come pick him up in a Mercedes? It's not going to happen. I make him happy. I know how to please him morally. And when you've had frontal lobe damage, that is like 5 blowjobs.
What do you mean?
Do you know that?
What do you mean?
It's true.
What is getting your vein?
Yeah, big deal. Big deal.
There's actually something called a Kluver-Bucy syndrome where you get extra sexual when you have frontal lobe damage.
Well, listen, you show a guy with frontal lobe damage, you give him one of those little sticks with a cup on the end of the ball, and that's a weekend. Imagine what a BJ is. I'm just doing the math. That's all I'm saying. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to disparage these people. I wish I had a little of that. I could really enjoy things again.
You have a little of that.
I think if I had frontal lobe damage, instead of watching 11 episodes of BattleBots, I could watch 14.
Well, maybe you could work up to it, and it'll cause...
Yeah.
Induce it.
All right.
Induce frontal...
Oh, boy. All right.
But maybe the mom, wants to...
No, who knows?
Stay in control.
We'd have to hear
this guy could be in real bad shape. It's another thing, too. All right. We'll be back after this.
Loveline.
1-800-LOVE
191.
We'll be right back.
Right now, you're enjoying Loveline on
94.7 NRK, with the Rock Alternative.
Well, hell yeah.
My goodness sakes.
Okay, terrific.
It is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. Over there, Monty Messex is our guest tonight. Monty is with the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, and he is a AIDS and HIV expert.
Do you want to talk about the Youth Expressions website also?
Yeah, we
Real quick,
could.
go ahead.
We could. Yeah, Drew and I and some other people at Children's Hospital, we've been working on a website that's around that we're developing to help youth build healthy relationships. And I think
is the Dr. Coop folk going to let us link through to you? Have we talked about that yet?
We haven't talked about that.
We need to make sure that happens, because drdrew.com is now a drcoop.com site.
Right.
And if we could, our original plan was to link with the Youth Expressions, and we still want to do that.
All right, well, what is that site? But people on the internet are not interested in having healthy relationships.
Some people, we have a lot of young people, and with drdrew.com, there are a lot of people that have questions similar, and I think the people that call into this show, they are interested in...
Those people aren't interested in having healthy relationships.
No, they are. They're interested in, they have, all sorts of funky problems, but they're interested in trying to have healthy relationships, I think, ultimately.
Without the funk.
All right, well, what...
Or to somehow...
What is that? What is that address?
It's youthexpressions.org, and it's still under development.
So it's not out yet?
It's not out yet. No. Hopefully in January it'll be up. And I think Drew is going to write one of our first pieces on HIV, and we have youth contributing all sorts of artwork and stories and poetry, and it's really awesome. It's really awesome. And
Drew, what are they paying you for that?
$0.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know you did things for free anymore.
I do.
You do.
Yeah, I know you
Drew's,
know.
Drew's an official volunteer at Children's Hospital.
I know it's against your principles. And
it's going to be in haiku form. It's just not going to be full.
No, Drew is, I think, aren't you on volunteer staff at Children's or something?
I know, that's for his resume. He won't actually show up there.
No, he does.
Julie?
Yeah.
You're 22. What's up?
Yeah. Hey, Dr. Drew, I just want to say I'm a big fan. I've been listening to Loveline since Poor Man was on.
Wow.
And you rock.
Since you were 9.
You and Adam, yeah.
Wow.
Let's see my question. Last night I had sex with a guy, and I didn't use a condom, and I just started the pill like 2 weeks ago, and I won't have a chance to go to the clinic and get the morning after pill.
So, all right, this is a great question. So, what pill did you start 2 weeks ago?
Elise.
Aless.
Aless,
yes. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And so they told you probably that you wouldn't be necessarily covered till the second cycle, right?
Well, they said to take it probably like for another... When I started, they said after a week I should be okay, but I'm just kind of scared still.
It's just not for sure in that first month. With the triphasic pills, a little more certain, but less.
What about her taking a handful of those in lieu of taking the morning after pill?
That's what I'm contemplating here, is whether she should double up maybe tomorrow and keep going.
I kind of already took 4 today.
All right, you're fine. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You're fine.
Did you throw up?
I haven't. I just took them like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, you will throw up.
Well, now she will.
Well, I mean, I'm afraid in a couple hours, don't be surprised if you do anyway. But that means you got the dose, and just go ahead and just finish the packet out just the way you normally be taking. No. Just keep going on the packet tomorrow, okay?
Okay, so I don't need to take 4 tomorrow. I'm good.
I don't think you. Again, this is a very sort of strange application of the morning after pill, but I don't think you would need to. No.
All right, but wait a minute, Drew. Which pills can you take in place of taking the morning after pill?
Aless is one of the ones you can actually.
You can.
Overall, low overall.
But taking the pill won't protect you from sexually transmitted diseases.
Oh, yes,
will
it
not
absolutely
protect you
will.
from HIV.
It is like ultimate sexually transmitted disease, pregnancy, would be avoided.
It's an invisible barrier between you and disease, that pill. Always remember that.
Unless you take 4 of them.
Right. All righty. Jimmy?
Yeah.
You're 20.
Yeah,
What's up?
Right. My girlfriend, and I just found out she's pregnant today, and she told me she would rather kill herself than have the baby, and she told me she'd rather kill herself than have a surgical abortion.
Yeah.
Well, that solves your problem.
Yeah.
What's her plan then?
That's what I was calling to find out what I could do. I guess she's open to like the RU-486, the abortion pill.
Okay, she has up to, I think, 49 days to get that done.
Right, I've heard that. But
can we get that finally?
Yeah.
Is that available?
Is it around?
It's around. You need to talk to doctors certified to deliver it, but it's definitely around now. And I think Planned Parenthood is out doing it.
Yeah, I just passed one in Van Nuys, big banner now with RU-486, a big, big banner out front.
I have an 800 number for the Planned Parenthood.
No. You do?
Yep.
Where are you calling from, Jimmy?
Southern California, like Los Angeles.
I think this is a national one.
You're L.A. or Pasadena?
L.A.
L.A.
Do you want the Planned Parenthood?
Yeah, I'd love it.
They have a website, plannedparenthood.org, or they have an 800 number, 800-230-PLAN.
And what 230-PLAN does is basically refer you to a number in your area. They'll give you the specific LA number, but it sounds like she needs to sit down and have a little counseling about all this.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, about everything, not just this, Jimmy. She's a handful, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Don't get her pregnant.
Anymore. I won't.
She'll make a unfit mother. Do you hear me?
Take this one. We have a minute left here.
All right. John.
Hey, how's it going?
You're 25. What's up?
Great show, as always.
Thanks.
I had two questions. First one's sort of more academic than personal, and it's for your guests mostly. I remember an AIDS researcher who was convinced that HIV did not cause AIDS, and he publicly injected himself with the virus. And I was wondering if you knew what had happened to the guy, if he ever got sick or anything.
I don't know, but actually I was just reading an article this morning about in South Africa how a lot of their policy was based on, the idea that HIV doesn't cause AIDS, and then finally the president said that it does. So,
all right. So it
but
does.
I don't know.
We
happened to this guy?
I know a lot of you've read articles in, I don't know, Loaded magazine or whatever Guccione writes, and it would say the contrary. We're going to take ourselves a break. We'll be back after this.
Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. 1-800-LOVE.
Yep, that's it with Loveline. Monty, give that number out, goofball.
866-EXAM-HIV. That's 866-392-6448 for free HIV testing in a area near you. And here's some
That's the national number. Cool. Thank you very much.
Doing it is the tagline. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks, Monty. Good to see you.
Until next year.
I pray that you won't have to come back next year. Not because I don't like you.
But conquered HIV.
No, I was going to say it's a boring show.
Oh, I see.
What were you saying, Drew?
No, nothing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So until next time.
Bye-bye.
Adam Carolla, thanks, Monty, for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
Good night.
This has been Loveline. The opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the staff, management, sponsors, or this station. The producer for Loveline is Ann Wilkins Ingold. Loveline is a presentation of Westwood One Entertainment.